All year, a group of students have been working with their director to create a documentary that tells the story of Schneider Park and the forgotten individuals buried beneath it.
I was approached by Dr. Carolyn Behrman. She had seen a couple of my other film projects. I think just based on my portfolio, she thought that I would be a good fit for this project. I actually learned film production here at the University of Akron while I was teaching Spanish courses, and I've been making movies ever since. Right. I'd like to have the first part of that shot. And then later this film project has been a really, really interesting collaboration. I've been working with kind of a motley crew of university students from many different departments. I'm going to get my light set up. We'll get a backlight. We'll get everything set up.
So this summer I actually interned with Joshua Tree Productions, so I really wanted to get a well-rounded experience doing the pre-production, doing the production, and doing the post-production next semester. As a media student in this class, I work with the rest of the production team and we'll go out and get interviews or go get B-roll at Schneider Park, basically anything that Josh needs us to do in the media realm.
Right now I am working on taking photos of these death certificates, so I'm just literally taking pictures of them and then I'm going into Photoshop and then creating a mask over them to make them look even older than what they are.
So it started, I was just like trying to find pictures, and it kind of morphed into like a leadership position, and Josh tells me what we need to get done and then I translate to the group. So making folders for the photos, getting citations ready, making sure that we're all in copyright, making sure we're all working as a team and all on the right pages.
I'm the unit production manager. I set up appointments for the director, and I did get to do a little bit of editing. I was looking forward to seeing how the new software works and how all the parts get put together to create a story.
Schneider Park itself has a long history involving people finding bones there. Some of the faculty in anthropology set up a class and did a subsurface mapping of the park itself and found over 300 graves.
There are bodies buried under Schneider Park. I grew up right near Schneider Park. I found it interesting that I ran my hound dog around that park, and when I let him off the leash, he went crazy. This story was very personal for me, and when I found out that they were unmarked graves, the poorest of the poor in Akron, and that we had an opportunity to tell a history of people whose stories have been forgotten, I just fell in love.
The interesting thing about it for us was, and what got us to a book, is not just the park, but also the infirmary and the history around it. The book is this recounting of the experience over a number of years now of students and faculty at the university with Schneider Park, with the whole idea of doing community-based research and allowing students, community partners, and faculty to work together to try to understand something more deeply.
Oh man, that is lovely.
Yeah.
The most that I've ever learned in my career was by doing, hands-on. And that's what this class is, and that's what all the unclasses are. Real-world experience with real consequences.
This class will actually be really beneficial for me in my career because I have to look at it through a different lens, and this was exactly that. So it showed me, yes, like the anthropological data side and the pictures, but also the leadership role and how to communicate with others so much better.
It's really not like a class, it's almost like an internship. We're going out experiencing things, really learning how to get good film and build a documentary from the ground up. You really wouldn't get that experience out of any other class here.
I'm looking forward to seeing how students filter information they find and put it together. There isn't one story. There are all these fragments, and I'm sure that the students will find fragments I don't know about.
I would say I've learned a lot about the history of Akron. I've seen a lot of old photographs of the canal and downtown and old buildings, some of them I've never heard of.
So I was tasked with adapting a book for the screen. And in this process, I've learned a ton about Schneider Park, the cemetery that's there, the Summit County Infirmary, and what Akron was like during that time. But I guess I will say, if you want to know what I learned, you got to watch the movie.